Oh, okay. So there's someone on chat. You know, this is a live stream and all that. There's someone asking, what program is this on? Um, this is a program I've been writing like a year and a half, a year and 8 months. Started in October 2021. It's it shows guitar, notation real time as a song goes. If you know Rocksmith or Guitar Hero, it's kind of like that. It's not public at the moment. I just made a website and I'll use it to help me record guitar, like I'm showing here on the stream. Really helps me a lot. The thing that I have been showing off on this stream in particular is the dynamic tempo adjustments. So like you plug the real guitar in and it keeps the score if each time you hit or miss a note. It saves that into a JSON file. And then the thing I've been working on recently is the dynamic tempo. So yeah, you pick the song, then you go to the tempo screen, and the tempo screen you go to dynamic. And this is the one I've been working on. So this references the most previous playthroughs. So like I played a song 2 or 3 times, and each time I came to this screen and then adjusted the tempo based on the playthrough, based on the number of notes I hit or missed. Goes through each measure and adjust the tempo. That's why in the Don't Fear the Reaper I was just playing right now, I was kind of thrown off because the tempo in the riff kept adjusting between each measure. Like one measure the riff was fast, the next measure it was slower. I'm still trying to get right the when a note is considered ready to play. Like it's very close to what we call the finish line. Does it apply? You know, when the note comes down here to the very bottom, let's start it. When it is considered ready to play. So I have let's see right here. Well, that's more than enough, but like ideally a little bit higher than right here. It's like right around here, this note is considered ready to play. And when it's considered ready to play, that's when it'll look at my guitar when I'm strumming. It'll determine all the frequencies that are getting played at this exact second, and it'll say, is this a match? Is the string that I'm playing now a match to the one that's ready to play? If so, and that means I hit the note, then give me score. There's a multiplier for score. If you hit 10 notes in a row, you get more score for each note you hit after that. But yeah, just let me know. Feel free to type in chat if you got any questions or whatever. Sure, there's a lot I could say about how I designed this program. It's written in Python, Pygame, PyGuitar Pro, tkinter. Uses a game loop. There's delta time velocity. There's 2 active threads going on. One is the game loop and the other is the guitar input. That's why I have 2 different computers. When I stream this, I have one computer streaming and recording the guitar, and the other computer playing the Pygame. So I have Windows and a Mac, 2 computers for this stream. Holo Twin interface. Universal audio for 0 latency, preferably. So I have my interface output connecting through the Rocksmith USB cable into my Mac for the guitar input on the device, telling me whether or not I hit the note. So it also is tied to a user account, songcreatorvision.com. My program is signed into my user account tied to that website. And when I go to this page, stats, and press synchronize. This is also something I've been working on recently, this stats screen. So it takes a second to load because it's going through a whole bunch of files at the moment. I haven't optimized it yet. Just got it working. But it shows the most recent playthroughs for the song, and that's what I was looking at earlier. Like, go here, and you see, like, oh, I got 69%, almost 70% accuracy. I got 687 score. My longest streak was 32 notes in a row. I hit 500 notes. I missed 200. That seems like pretty good if you ask me, because I'm quite new to this song. But I don't have the scroll working on this menu yet, but this is like every note, every measure, every string, every tempo of a measure. It's like if you go, it's not synced yet. Let's go to the tempo screen. And this tempo screen, there's several different layers of the tempo screen. And the tempo screen, we got um, grouping measures by the tempo, and they're color coordinated. See measure 2 and measure 10, same BPM, same color. Measure 1 and measure, well, whatever. You can see like the colors, like measure 1, 15, 7, 12. They're all around 60, 70 BPM. You could tell by the color. Measure 20 and measure 32. Well, they're a bit off, but they're the same color. But yeah, I recently added the scroll bar functionality. That's right, some work. Telling Pygame how the logic behind a scroll. There's this many scrolls, there's this many columns, this many rows. And then when I hit the edit button, make sure it goes to the correct measure. See, like, what did I hit? Measure 53. It goes to measure 53. And there's this illusion. This scroll is an illusion. There's not actually scrolling down. It's just changing the scroll bar that scrolls down, and the content is just getting changed. It's quite fun. There's handling event inputs. There's drawings. This is a frame. There's delta time. This is constantly getting drawn each frame right now. And yeah. And there was some overlap here before between the buttons, the save profile, load profile buttons. I wanted to get rid of that overlap. We put the tempo. Each measure is in a frame. It's drawn outline in a red rectangle, and that's so we could differentiate between the measures and everything else for the user interface. Like we got different save and load profile buttons. We could have different profiles. So the idea is that we alter the JSON. We start off with a guitar profile. We alter the guitar profile as much as we want. And then after we edit the guitar profile, when we load it into this program, we go to this tempo screen, and there's JSONs that are made. There's a default JSON that takes the guitar profile by itself, and then there's these profiles that you could alter the tempo of the guitar profile through the JSON without altering the guitar profile itself. So these are all JSON files. Saves each measure's tempo. So you could adjust the tempo as you play each measure. This work in progress to edit measure screen and then the note info screen. The big thing is we're all on one Pygame screen here. It's just transitioning between different screens. It's actually one screen. I'm just drawing and erasing over it. Pretty smart, or pretty wired very carefully. Got two different sync screens. This one syncs the profile with the server. I used to enter the sync automatically when I entered this screen, but then as soon as I was playing it, I was like, no, that's got to change. I got to do it manually through the user interface only. I mean through the sync button. See, like right now, there's going to be so many files, and the code's like, it's not in sync with the JSON. Wow, it seems there's a lot of synchronization. Whatever. But, yeah, this program, what can I say? Music is life, and it's fun combining programming and music, my two favorite things. I program this a lot. All my free time goes to programming this. I'm glued to this project. It's fun. I haven't even gotten into the... You know what's crazy, though? I've been spending so much time on this song visualizer. I mean, I've been improving the song creator, but what's crazy is that I wrote 2 albums with the song creator within the span of a few months. And I've been writing, it's been a year and 4 months since I've created those 2 albums, the second album. And you know how much writing I've done in the song creator program? I've done so much. I've implemented interval prioritization, I added interval prioritization in terms of the same logic as, okay, so this program Song Creator generates guitar profiles, sends it to the song visualizer, writes the songs for you. You just choose a whole sort of options. You choose the key and the scale, or one or two scales. You choose the number of measures, the tempo, the time signatures. You could have different time signatures that will change every measure, every certain number of measures, and the time signatures could change tempo as well. You can have it randomized time signatures, or you can have the time signature transition or only be one measure long. Because sometimes I like having a 2-4 after a 4-4 and have the 2-4 like ending a sentence. The 2-4 is like adding a period in a sentence, where the 4-4 is just writing the sentence and the 2-4 just completes it. All user preference. So we got, it writes 3 guitar arrangements by default: left, center, right, lead, rhythm, alt, lead. 3 dimensions, hence 3-dimensional at my album name. So the way it does that, you could choose what strings you want, what frets you want, what lengths you want, and prioritizing the note lengths. Like, how are the note lengths chosen? There's a bunch of logic around that. Most of it deals with prioritization. So lead, rhythm, rhythm has patterns you could choose. So the rhythm is pattern based, and then it changes the chords every number of patterns. These are the eligible patterns. Let's say chosen 4 patterns. It's going to play a chord 4 times, and then it's going to do a new chord. So that's the pattern. But recently, over the past year, I implemented, you go to the measure, and you allow sections, allow subsections. I have some subsections for rhythm that changes from chord pattern to arpeggio, because, rhythm can switch to arpeggio. And then I also have recently adding a new pattern on top of the current pattern for rhythm. So we have 2 rhythm patterns. I added a bunch of chord patterns to toggle on and off recently. And it's quite fun defining chords through programming. Try to think in your head, how are you going to define a chord in programming? I could give you a hint. There's an array of strings and frets, and they relate to each other. And you have to say min string and max min string fret, max string fret, middle string fret, middle string string, middle, all that, saying if this is that, if this string and this fret is greater than the middle string and this string, blah blah blah. If only I could show you the source code if you're willing to sign an NDA. Piano, bass, drums, they're supported. I just don't use them. Remixer. This is, you take your favorite song, Blue Sky, you send it in here, remix it. I was like, oh, that's a bit advanced right now. Right now, I just like hit generate, and then it generates eDorian. See, it's already clicked, but now it's an Open Guitar Pro. So let's see, eDorian. Mac can't stream audio because the Mac is a Mac, but you can see the 3 guitar arrangement just within the click of a button. And you know how fun it is telling a note, writing music through this. You know how fun that is. Like, let's say you have a 4/4 time signature. That's 4.0 float lengths, and you got each note length, quarter note, half note, dotted, or even dotted notes. Dotted notes a multiplier of the length. So a quarter note is what, like 0.5 length, and then a dotted quarter note. Sorry, I mean an eighth note is like a. I always have to open it up. Like, if I know you can't see the full screen. But see, it's like start a new measure. Sorry, a new song, just a demo. See, like let's see, eighth note. Yeah, 0.5 right up here, and then you fill that in. 0.75. So the way Guitar Pro works is that you have to fill the measure to the exact amount, and that's fun in programming. I've implemented different logic. Like, a problem I had was, oh no, my source code. Okay. Problem problem I had was 1 second. Okay, you didn't see nothing. Problem I had was oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, too many eighth notes. Uh, can't even find the window. Let's just restart it. So I added, well, there's different ways to combat the eighth notes. One, in priority, you just lessen the priority. It's not always that simple. Even choosing the priority is a complex thing. But in the notes, clear priorities all 1-0. No. Move focus frets, required note length to move. Oh yeah, right here. Max 16th in measure, max 16th in row, max 8th in measure, max 8th in row. You click the buttons, it randomizes it. This is for just in case the priority system fails and say it gives you too many eighth notes. This is like a backup saying, oh no, not too many eighth notes in a measure, not too many 16th notes in a measure. Because they get too fast. The goal of this for me is to hit 100% of notes, period. There's a million songs you could write, but there's hold on. There's like millions of songs that you could write, but how many of those can you actually hit 100% of notes? And there's like, not to say a secret, but I know how the songs are written because I wrote this program, but like, okay, we're gonna move well, how it works is it focuses on 4 frets at a time when it writes it, and it doesn't go outside of that radius because you only have 4 fingers, right? So the idea in this version is we're going to focus on just a 4-finger fret distance. Every X number of frets, if we meet a note length of Y length, we're going to transition, and that's even more logic. In this current version, my favorite priority system I came up with so far is balancing the whole fretboard. It keeps track of how many times each note is played on the fret. Each string and each fret, it keeps track of it. It prints it out even. I think I might even have the print still enabled. Hit generate, the song generated, yeah. We go right here. This is all printing each time. Okay, so the first number is 0, 0, that's string fret. Actually, hold on, it's been a while since I've done this. No, sorry. This is the fret number, and the first number is the fret number, and the second number is how many times that fret has been chosen. So we're trying to equal it out. It's not the 7 times, 3 times, 4, 11, 4. So keep in mind this is every 17 notes, right? And that's quite a lot. Let's just say move it instead of 17, let's try 6. Let's see how many we get. Generate. So it may be better for me to illustrate this if I go through the different priorities, but if we compare it to a priority system that is not based on evening it out, it's going to see like a huge number. There's different priority systems I got for choosing whether to move up the current focus fret position, or see right here, priority. You can move it calculated, you can move it randomly. So the calculated is like, I added this priority system, like this is for the moving the frets up and down every X number of measures, or X number of notes. There's these 3 systems of how it chooses which direction to move up or move down the fretboard. So the calculated one is based on the distance to whether it's closer to the min or the max. It moves, and like if it's closer to 14, you're currently at 12, it's going to move down closer to 1. Whatever the highest limit is, you're closer to the highest, you're going to move to the other. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't remember if I used that one that much. The other one is random. It's 50-50 chance, move up or down the fret. And the one I have right now is priority based, which tries to be balanced. It logs the number of times each fret has been played and then tries to balance it out and picks one that hasn't been played as often. It tries to. We even see the intervals. A5, wow, 17 times C5. Intervals just made it. I don't know if it's complex. Like, I have yet to make a new like record songs with this. I've been having so much fun writing everything. There's even repeating bar measures we could have a chance of. Um, yeah, there's even well, I forget how I do it. I have different systems going on because I have the priority system in the notes here, and then I even have it in the measures, rhythm, lead, priority. Because there's even a priority system where I have that I haven't used much, but it's written to since we have three different guitars, I wrote it, and the way I have this right now, it writes each arrangement. It writes the lead first, then rhythm, then alt lead. And the way it writes, first it fills in the note lengths for the lead. After it fills in the note lengths, then it adds in the note strings and the note frets. And then it goes to the rhythm, then the alt lead in the same way. So I even have a note system that says, hey, we have three guitars, and you know how there's was it uh, the two strings are one range, the other two strings are another range, the other two strings are another range, something something, or no, three string. Wait, what is it? Yeah, wait, yeah, there's two strings in each low, medium, high range, right? Like bass, mid, treble, something. So there's some logic that I was trying to write where, okay, let's have one guitar be the bass in this in this measure, and then let's have the other guitar be the mid and the other guitar be the treble. So we have like a balance between the because like if you have three guitars and they're all playing like treble, it's like what's going on? Why isn't this balanced? Like I don't know how to explain that. It's not. It's more of a nitpick, but it's certainly there because there's a lot of things going on here. It's basically an algorithm. All right. I will be right back a couple of minutes and come back to the guitar. If anyone's here in chat, feel free to write in chat. Alright, cool. So I'll get rid of this overlay, but I'll keep this chat one up. If anyone wants to chat. Otherwise, it's just gonna be me playing guitar. That's Geetar, guitar. Pick 9, or pick one of 9. You know, the fun thing about having 9 guitars is that one of them requires a restring. You just grab another one and forget about it. Do I want a restring or do I want to play? As long as the strings don't rust. Alright, enough talking. Time to start playing. So I forgot. I don't know if I forgot to do something when I change the tuning. I'm supposed to go to this screen, pitch, tuner, E flat, E standard. When I change this setting, it changes the frequency input detection. So all the songs I played in E flat, I have no idea if I had actually set to E flat. But with that said, my performances were pretty good, I would think. This whole project has improved my accuracy. I just played Hideaway however many times in a row in this session, and it's a very tricky song. But oh yeah, I was tuned in E flat during Hideaway. whatever. That explains why the open chord sounded like metal. But regardless, good finger muscle memory, and got a lot of blisters on my fingers. But yeah, so I'm having to play through songs several times just to get this dynamic tempo system going. And I'm still trying to get the settings. Like I noticed it's um, increasing the tempo more than it's decreasing. Like if we go to the tempo screen, we go to the dynamic screen. Just because the way the decrease works compared to the increase. The decrease goes by percentage based. Like if you miss 100% of notes, then it'll go to that decrease factor, 21%. So let's say 47. There's so many percent. I did it. Like I know it's increasing the tempo more often because the increased tempo. I just said, okay, if you hit this amount of notes in the measure, then it measure it, like it goes through the previous number of JSON files and ref. How can I say other than work in progress? It's so much to speak, let alone to program. But I guess that's it for this session. So if anyone has message, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, see you next session.